Howdy. Do you want to learn to fly, but the biggest limitation for your flight training has been the cost of the flight training? Well, in this video, I have an amazing opportunity in which you can work for a flight school getting paid a salary, and they will pay 100% of your flight training for private, instrument, commercial, and flight instructor. So, believe it or not, this is a 100% legitimate opportunity. So, hey, I'm Dr. Andy Molter. I'm a flight instructor at CFI IIMEI. I used to be a corporate pilot, and now I'm a professor of aviation. So, yeah, I know you're probably thinking, screw you. There's no way that this is real. It's too good to be true. How could anybody be willing to pay me money and at the same time pay for my flight training? Well, so I know you might be doubtful, but this is a 100% legitimate opportunity. And so to tell you about this opportunity, I want to first show you my website where I have a link to this opportunity. And so this is my website, Multar Aviation. And on the top menu, you see here, I have different resources available to you. So I have my pilot video. So make sure you subscribe. That way you get notified every time I come out with a video. And then here I've got my different pilot gear that I recommend. And so you got all the different books I recommend. So, hey, top left one here, How to Become a Pilot by myself, Dr. Andy Molter. And then all the other books that I recommend. Now, these are all affiliate links to Amazon. So, you don't have to use them, but, if you do, it helps support the channel, and I really appreciate it. But all the different headsets I recommend, iPads, knee boards, flight computers, flight bags, sunglasses, and just everything else you could possibly need in your flight bag. And then in this tab, we have the pilot resources. So this is the one I want to tell you about. It's the free flight training through American Flyers. Now, to be fully transparent, I used to work at American Flyers as an instructor before I got my current professor job at the university. So, but for this video, I'm not being sponsored by American Flyers. It's been quite a few years since I worked for them. I haven't really spoken to anybody from there except for, friends on Facebook. But so they didn't even know I'm making this video. But this is such a great opportunity that I just want to share it with everyone because I've seen it firsthand. This is a real opportunity. I've witnessed these interns getting their flight training for free and at the same time getting paid to do so. And so this is their administrative and maintenance sponsorship. So it's two different paths. And so when you go to their website here, you scroll down and you'll find all these different positions. So you have their administrative sponsorship at all locations. And then you have their different mechanic sponsorships. All right, so all you have to do is you just have to click on one of these links here and it takes you to their website. So now one thing I want to stress to you real quick. You must be willing and able to relocate to any American Flyers location. They have 6 locations across the country, 2 of them in the same town, at the same airport. But seriously, you must be willing to relocate to any American Flyers location at any time throughout this internship. So I'll just tell you right now. I remember I was working there at American Flyers, and I was speaking to one of the interns, and he said, "Yeah, they want me to move to I was working in Addison, Texas, and the intern told me, hey, next week they want me to move to New Jersey. Now they will help you somewhat with the relocation cost. It's not much, but it's a little bit. But that's kind of the deal with getting this internship. You've been working at one location for a few months, and then all of a sudden they say, hey, next week we need you over in Morristown, New Jersey." And you're just supposed to pack everything up, move, and keep on working. Now you might think, hey, I live in one area right next to one of their locations. I don't want to move. Well, then this really isn't the sponsorship for you. They're paying for your flight training. This is an incredible opportunity, so you have to be willing to move. So to make it easier for yourself, what I would recommend wherever you get located, it's the only things you really need is a car, your flight bag with all your pilot gear, toiletries, trash bags worth of clothes, maybe a pillow, a towel, and maybe a sleeping bag. And so wherever you move, I'll show you the locations here in a little bit. Um, you know, find roommates. Go to Craigslist. Find roommates. Go to Facebook. Roommates pages for those cities, and find the cheapest place you can live. Maybe a motel or something, because I mean you're getting all your flight training paid for, and you're getting a salary. So 100% worth it. All right, so the benefits, like we said, you complete your flight training in American Flyers without the burden of educational loans or any debt. At the completion of the sponsorship program, you earn the opportunity to become a full-time flight instructor or mechanic for American Flyers. Now, if you don't want to work at American Flyers as a flight instructor, you don't have to. But you're already there. You're already used to their systems. It'd be a good place to work. Now I'll tell you, when I worked there, they had certain rules that you had to follow, and I'll explain that here in a minute. But you just do what they want. Everything goes well. All right. The administrative position responsibility. So, like I said, you've got your administrative internship, and you got the A&P internship. So, if you do the administrative route, then you do customer service. You're at the front desk, speaking to students and prospective students. You talk to people on the phone. You ensure all the flights are dispatched correctly, efficiently, and safely. You assist the chief pilot with the student programming and scheduling. So you're creating the schedule. You assist the school director with various duties as required. And then the qualifications are that you have a 4-year college degree. Now it says here that you have to have a private pilot license required for the administrative position. This is what they say. And maybe, it's been a few years since I've been there, but at the time, they still had this requirement, but the interns that were working there, as far as I know, they did not have their private pilot certificate when they started this internship. So, is it possible? I would say yeah. If you don't already have your private pilot certificate, apply anyways. Maybe they'll hire you. Now, like I said, you have to be willing to relocate to any of their locations. Is this worth it? Absolutely. So I recommend doing it. You have to be a successful phone interview. Now, here's a very important note. You have to have the legal right to work in the United States. They do not sponsor any work visas for any, international, any foreigners that want to come to the U.S. So that's you. I'm sorry. This is just not an opportunity that's going to work for you. But if you're an American or U.S. national, then yep, you qualify. And then fluency in reading, writing, understanding, speaking the English language. Hey, that's part of the requirement of becoming a pilot. So you need to be able to do that. Now, if you already have your A&P, well, then they have the mechanic A&P to pilot sponsorship. And so the qualifications are here. Just you have to have your A&P, and what you do is you just do maintenance inspections on all the different aircraft. So you're getting good experience while you're doing this. You're getting paid probably good money for it, and you're getting your flight training paid for. So if you're already an A&P and you want to become a professional pilot, hey, that is a perfect opportunity for you. Now, here's the 6 different locations. They have 2 in Addison, Texas. It's the same airport, just 2 different actual locations. They have the Houston, Texas location, Morristown, New Jersey, Pompano Beach, Florida, and Scottsdale, Arizona. So, now, how do you actually get this? Well, you can apply. So, when you're on their website, all you have to do is just apply for this job. But, and there's a very good chance you'll get called up and you'll have a phone interview. But let's say you do apply and you don't hear anything back from them. Well, one thing I really recommend is you go in person. Now, a lot of what I'm going to tell you, you're going to be surprised at, but normally when if you watch my previous videos, especially like the 4 tips to getting the low time pilot job you want, I generally recommend you show up in person, and wearing business casual is usually okay. With American Flyers, though, This is a little different. So all their employees, except for the mechanics, the fuel guys, and everybody, but most of their employees are required to wear a button collared shirt with a tie. And so if you're going to go in person to American Flyers, I wear I recommend wearing a suit with a tie. Ladies, shirt with a tie and a jacket, because everybody wears shirt with a tie. So if you show up with a suit on, shirt and tie, then they already know, hey, you own a shirt with a tie. You came prepared knowing that they wear shirts and ties. And so wearing a jacket is just that extra little thing that makes you stand out. Uh, Now you might think, man, that's kind of old fashioned to go in person with a resume. But I will tell you, American Flyers, they've been around since 1939, and they are probably the most old fashioned aviation company uh, alive today. Uh, they they're very reluctant to change. I remember when I worked there in 2019, all their flight scheduling was done by hand every single day. If you want to know what your schedule was, well, you looked at the schedule that they hand wrote, and that's how you knew when you were working. Their payroll was with checks, not direct deposit. I don't know if that's changed. I doubt it though. Shirt and tie. I doubt they will ever get rid of that. And you have to be clean shaven, no visible tattoos. You are allowed to have a mustache to the edge of your lips, but that's it. If you show up a little scruffy, they will give you the cheapest razor till you go to the bathroom and shave at the sink without shaving cream. They don't give you shaving cream if you brought your own. Okay, and but they're so traditional. Now, as you see here, a lot of these areas, these are affluent areas. A lot of their customers, when you go in their parking lot, you're probably going to see Mercedes, maybe a Land Rover, something like that. These are affluent customers. So they have a professional image they're trying to maintain. Um, so you show up clean shaven, wearing a suit, and I recommend asking for either the school director, if they're available, one of the assistant chiefs, or even just talking to the people at the front desk. There's a very good chance one of those people at the front desk are also going to be an aviation intern, and they're going to help give you advice. And so, but yeah, I mean, typically the director's there; they'll be happy to talk to you. Like I said, they're old fashioned. They're going to appreciate you showing up in person with a resume in hand, looking sharp, and that will go a long ways. So, all right. Well, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I read all the comments, and I'm happy to answer them. And then I'm gonna leave a link to my website in the description below. And so just yeah, I wish you luck. I know this sounds too good to be true, but I promise you it is possible to get accepted for this internship. All right, thanks for watching.